Say bye to your $420,699 trust fund unless you get a prenup with your gold-digging fiancé. Some background. I have 4 kids. My eldest, John, 27 male, was with my first wife who died when he was 5. I eventually remarried and got 2 stepdaughters, Lisa, 25 female, and Anne, 18 female. Then my second wife and I had Mike, 13 male. My wife and I made sure to give them comfortable lives. When John and Lisa graduated from university, we gifted them condo units. Pretty sick gift.
That's right. I thought you said condoms for a second.
Condoms. Yeah, like, hey, don't be knocking up anyone anytime soon.
Come on.
We will also do the same when Anne and Mike graduate. Also, all of them have trust funds that will be released when they turn 30.
Very smart.
I'm quite proud of my kids. John and Lisa graduated from top universities. John has a high-paying job as an engineer, while Lisa pursued a master's degree in business while she worked in marketing. Eventually, she started her own marketing consulting firm while being a part owner of a spa. Dang!
These kids are going crazy.
I understand why you're proud of them. John recently got engaged to his girlfriend of 2 years, and they wanted to get married by the end of the year. She seems nice, however, she doesn't earn as much as him. My son spends a lot of money on her on dates and expensive gifts.
Oh, she doesn't earn as much money as him.
She's not as high class.
Oh, God.
I understand that it's his money and he can spend it however he wants, but she also moved in with him in the condo that I gave him, and as far as I know, she doesn't pay her share of utilities and association fees. And now John is asking to get part of his trust fund so he could use it for the wedding, since his fiancée doesn't have much money to contribute for their wedding. Now, here's where I may be an asshole.
Here we go.
I told him I'd release part of his trust fund early if he draws a prenup with her. He got angry and told me I was being unfair because I released half of Lisa's trust fund last year to help put up her business. But I guess with the business, it's an investment that could make more money. Whereas with this is an investment that could only take your money away. He told me that I was playing favorites. I told him that Lisa did something worthwhile with her trust fund. And while a wedding is worthwhile, I told him it doesn't seem safe to use a fund for a wedding to a girl who doesn't bring much to the table.
Bro, why is she hating on this woman so hard? So hard for no reason.
I told him I just wanted him to have some security by drawing a prenup. He got angrier and said I was implying that his fiance is a gold digger. My wife and the rest of the family refused to take sides. So am I the a-hole? And there is a update. But John, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm saying the a-hole because like if the fiance had a history of like, you know, scamming the boyfriends or something, like, oh, but this time's different. Like,
let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
At what point is it taking advantage?
I am very pro splitting expenses.
Right.
It seems like John is earning a lot of money. And if I'm putting myself in his shoes, in John's shoes, I love being in those shoes. I could see myself being like, hey, I have the money. Like,
who cares?
Don't worry about it. Like,
and at the end of the day, it's like his relationship.
It's OP's life and OP's
and it's OP's
choice
fault.
and maybe mistake to make.
If that happens, you know,
then it's
his mistake to make.
It's on John.
So let's get into the update.
Let's do it.
The next day after I posted, I had a long conversation with my son. First, I apologized to him for making that comment about his fiance. I realized it was demeaning and uncalled for. Second, I asked about their living arrangement. He did admit to paying for everything, including bills and food. She does the cooking sometimes, but he even pays for someone to clean because neither of them would. I asked if she ever offered to pay, and he said no. I understand it's none of my business, but the fact that she never offered is raising some flags in my head. I gave him some things to think about and maybe discuss with her, like what would happen if he loses his job or for some reason, illness/accident, he has to stop working. I told him that I have nothing against their arrangement and him spoiling her, but he has to be wiser about his spending habits. Third, I explained the importance of a prenup and said that I had one with his mom and his stepmom. He still refuses to because according to him, it might offend her. Again, raising some red flags. So I will stick to my decision and release his trust fund when he's 30, as we initially agreed on. He wasn't happy with this.
Right.
Lastly, I asked what kind of wedding they plan to have, that they felt the need to use his trust fund. Apparently, she dreams of having a big wedding on the beach. She also wants to have a photo and video production to announce their engagement, which I find ridiculous. They want it this year, but can't afford it, as she is only paying for her wedding dress. And my son admitted that he doesn't have a lot of savings, probably from going on expensive dates and trips. I told him that it's not practical, but if they really want it, they should wait and save up for it. At that point, I was feeling better about my decision to not release his trust fund early. The way I see it, my son could go broke in a few years paying for everything and spoiling his fiance/wife. Their trust fund is the last thing all my kids will get from me. That being said, I may be an asshole, but not a total asshole to not support his wedding. My wife and I agreed to give them a certain amount that should cover a nice venue and still have some left over for other expenses. It will be our wedding gift to them, and if he's still not happy, then there's nothing I could do. If they go no contact or low contact, I'd feel at peace with my decision.
Wow.
I provided for him and tried to protect him. If she leaves him and he ends up losing everything, I'd hate for that to happen, but that's on him. I do hope their marriage works out. That's the end of the story.
Ooh.
We had a little bit more context.
We
so
do.
I'm going to throw it to you and John. So is OP the a-hole for not releasing the trust fund until 30, even though P released it for another one of his kids, albeit it was for a business investment? John, I'll pass it off to you. What do you think?
You know what, Sam? I'm still going OP's the a-hole.
You would give the trust fund early.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's his decision to make.
But what if he goes broke?
It is what it is. And I also found it very odd that he said, I'm okay knowing that
Going
he
to no
might go
contact.
no or low. That to me
That
was
seems-
crazy.
yeah.
I would do anything to stay in touch with my child and to be okay with something as stupid as this getting in the way of me continuing a relationship with my son. I would never allow that. Never. Like,
I had a rich ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And she would literally pay for everything.
yeah.
Like we would go out to dinner, like $300 dinners. I had no money. I was in high school.
Right.
But she would pay for it. Right. But eventually it got to the point where it was like her mom got a little upset that I was like mooching a little bit.
Interesting.
You know, like I wasn't paying for any of it.
Right.
To be fair, I had no money to pay for it. Because I was literally in high school. Like in retrospect, I don't think it was a good move for me to mooch off my girlfriend.
Right. Right.
It doesn't sit right with me now.
Right. Right.
I mean, the other thing is like,
Relationship.
it sounds like they want a really expensive wedding.
Yeah.
Like that's going to go through that trust fund really quick. If it's super expensive.
Yeah. I do think it's fair to say, hey, I'll be honest, like,
No.
I don't think I would not do this. I don't think this is smart. And that's probably what I would say. But like, I want you to live your life. And, you know, if you're going to, your wins and your mistakes, I want them to be your own.
Yeah. I feel like OP's treating his child as a child. And what you just said is treating them as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you've convinced me.
Ooh.
I think I'm pro giving the kid his half of the money early.
Yeah. You could end up broke in both scenarios, but at least you don't have a bad relationship with your dad in
Exactly.
that one scenario.
Yeah. I think the greater risk is him going no contact
Yes. Yes.
and thinking that you're playing favorites.
I totally agree, but there's something else that's very no risk, Sam. It's actually all reward.
The thing that's all a reward is reading our public subscribers' comments.
That's right. These comments come from the video, my biracial sister called my white parents racist. Do I kick her out? This is where OP disinvited her adopted sister from the wedding because she called their white parents racist. This is from public subscriber Jenna B. Not all birth parents that give up their children are trash, and not all adoptive parents are freaking angels. Good perspective to share.
True.
Public subscriber Headwound04 says, OP's sister is going to regret how she's been treating people that care for her sometime down the line, and most likely too late to reconcile. I can see if she was a teenager, but she's an adult and her actions have consequences. You know, we do always love that there is discourse, discussion, and hopefully learning in our comments on these videos. So keep them coming. Publicly subscribe, comment. We just might read yours. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.